What's up, everyone? This is Roots of Black in the house. As always, bringing you information that most people will not discuss. This is going to be probably the first introduction of Roots of Black to some of you because this is going to be the first video that is placed on all these other platforms. So, excuse me while I introduce myself or ourselves because we are a team of people, AI programs. It's a group niche of people that we found that came together to research and to find things. So we're working together with this guy who made an AI program called Science is Latin, doctors, nurses, the share button, which is the one that introduced us to Science is Latin. So we are sitting here as a small group of people that we meet online to have information. We talk, we discuss what you're supposed to do. Like-minded people come together to find information. And at Roots of Black, of course, we are more black oriented. Here, our cause is for black folks. But if you find information here, no matter what color you are, then you're supposed to, you were taught to glean. So when you find good information, you take it no matter where it comes from. Like, people talk about David Duke, for instance. David Duke has some good information. David Duke and us will never be friends, but that doesn't mean I won't listen to him because he does tell the truth and he has a lot of good information. I have no problem with that. Us being friends probably would never happen. Could we sit at a table and have a discussion? Probably. It doesn't matter. I don't need anyone to like me. I'm not here. We're not here for people to like us. We don't care about that. That makes us no difference. The only care that we have is to tell the truth. And just like, truth is just like a lion. It does not need to be defended. It defends its damn self. So we're about to let some truth defend itself here with this video. Now, you see the title is something that the brothers always say on our videos. This probably isn't the first time you hearing my voice. I, the brothers, the channel, we have had many channels on YouTube, many times kicked out doing videos because, you know, you're explaining to people before it got to this point when Google, it wasn't when they first took it over. It probably was like maybe 5 years after they started to slowly but surely get rid of things and people who were telling the truth. And the conspiracy theorists, or spoiler alerters, were warning everyone that it was going to get to this point, and no one did anything about it, or they didn't believe it, because they went right along with that psyops of the CIA using the word conspiracy theory to make, when, because that's a program, that's an MK Ultra word or phrase, is that they programmed you through MK Ultra, because there's your TV is an MK Ultra device. Project Naomi, all of that is in that television. Project Monarch, Butterfly, everything comes out of that frequency box that's in front of you. So they programmed you that when they used the word conspiracy theory, you automatically didn't take it, you know, with truth. You didn't listen. You just brushed it off. You got programmed. You're a damn fool. Everyone told you what was going to go on in this life with everything you see now for years. None of this is new. You chose to make it new, but none of this is new. All right, so as you can see on the screen, it says, why did Monsanto patent glyphosate as a antibiotic? So This isn't really discussed the way it's supposed to be discussed because this is a hell of a giant issue here. Your life, your kid's life, your dog, cat, whatever you care about life is in full danger. Full 100% danger, stranger danger everywhere. This is no joke. This is nothing to be played with. You can see some of the titles there on the tabs, but we're going to go through this though. It says, why did Monsanto patent glyphosate as an antibiotic? This is one of the answers, and it's questions, and it says answers, and it says companies with patented chemical technology generally try to patent all reasonable potential uses of that chemical in order to maximize return on their research. Such cannot be speculative. He said we can't patent glyphosate as jet fuel or nail polish remover because it does not do these things. But glyphosate does inhibit enzyme pathways in many bacteria and parasites. So that's why they did this. And this you see this here. This is 2014. This is senior scientist, fellow lead medical science and outreach, Monsanto company. So this is someone from Monsanto, which is now Bayer, DuPont, and all of that combined, the chemical company and pharmaceutical company all in one, because they're all the same damn thing. This glyphosate was there and patented, to spray your food as a pesticide slash herbicide. It does both, and now it's an antibiotic. So it does, it's an anti insecticide, anti-herbicide. Where you kill plants, it kills bugs, and it kills bacteria. You seeing and listening to me say that it kill bugs should be an issue because you don't have any you don't have any bees and butterflies in the world anymore. Why is that? Glyphosate. So glyphosate is highly poisonous to human beings, but because you consume it on a low dosage basis. That's what they say, the doses make the poison. But low dosage of this actually poisons you too. This is why you have the majority of the ailments that you have right now in life. It's because glyphosate is showing up in everyone's gut, in all your foods. Glyphosate's in everything. They sprayed the world so much, even your organic food does not, isn't safe from glyphosate. Glyphosate is on every single living being on the earth, and probably in the sea too, because the spray is going into the seas and the rivers. I just don't know how far it's going down in the ocean. That we don't know, and the currents in the ocean and the oceans under the oceans and stuff like that. So some of the wildlife, sea life may be safe in the oceans and stuff like that, but everything on the earth has been poisoned with glyphosate. It just depends on by how much. So when you have GMO crops they're heavily poisoned by glyphosate because they sprayed them all day. Your organic crops are getting the fallout and the wind blowing from just everything being contaminated with it. So you got to think about that for a second. Everything has some traces of glyphosate in it. Everything. And they just told you that it's an antibiotic. And it's like a weaker antibiotic. It's not something. It doesn't matter if it's strong. It doesn't matter if it's strong. We all know that there's an issue in the world right now with the overuse of antibiotics. So we're having all of these resistant bacterias that they can't kill anymore. So this is what I wanted you to see. Glyphosate is in everything. They know that it's been patented as an antibiotic. So we're going to go here. Antibiotic-resistant strep. Here, there has been reports of clinical isolation of group A strep, which is resistant to penicillin. And it says, however, the resistance to azithromycin and cartitropicin, I guess that's how you pronounce it, is common in some communities. So basically, because of think about this. They strep Strap lives on in your throat, in your mouth. It lives there. You've been putting mask on, so it's living on your mask. You're breathing it. We're having strap outbreaks, staph outbreaks all over schools, all over the world because everybody got on masks. I'll get into that later and show you the studies of just how bad keeping a mask on your face really truly is. So you see that Monsanto is spraying this low grade antibiotic on the whole earth. So naturally, these bacteria with this weak antibiotic is going to grow stronger because it's a living organism that wants to live. Everything on this earth wants to live, and it will fight to live. It's including bacteria. You have billions and trillions of bacteria in your body working together for the function of you. You are a mini Earth walking around. You have the same makeup as the Earth does. You do. You're a mini Earth walking around experiencing a bigger Earth. So you see that all these reports here, discovering reveals antibiotic resistant strep may be too close for comfort. Here, it's just way too much information, but you can go through this and you can see it, and you can see them, putting the bacteria in waters with this antibiotic in it in some of these studies, and it's not dying. They're growing. They're not even like multiplying. I mean, slowly subtracting. They're multiplying, and some of them are multiplying fast. So now you're looking at antibiotic resistant staph. So this is, called Menza, MERS, or whatever. So superbug here. This also is on your mask. When this lives on your skin, was it Staphylococcus or whatever they call it? Those live on your skin. Your other bacteria and your what they call your immune system. Same thing with the strep. Is that it keeps it at bay. When you put a mask on, your mask doesn't have an immune system. So the bacteria grow on your mask without being regulated. And then you breathe that back in, you swallow, you talk, you eat food and put that mask back on. So there's food particles that is growing on that they're eating. Remember, bacteria and also stuff love sugar. Majority of what Americans put in their diet. So they just grow, bacteria grows on anything, grow on ice. It's hard for it to grow on ice, but it can grow on ice. So imagine a cloth with food and stuff like that on it, how well it can grow. And this is what's going on because I mean, in your life, you'll go to a restaurant and you'll eat some food and you'll stop and put that mask right on and you'll start talking. There's food coming out of your mouth, they're getting stuck to that mask. You already have strep and staph on on the inside of your mouth and on your skin. So they're just going to grow on both sides of the mask, and you're going to inhale it, and it's going to get stronger. This makes you sick. And some of the people in the world, they don't wash their mask; they just grab their mask, and put it on. So you can imagine how much mold, fungus, bacteria is collecting in that mask, and how strong they're going to get. So as you can see here, you can see that there's antibiotic resistant, staph. That also is because of glyphosate. The overuse of penicillins, the overuse of antibiotics, and glyphosate alone is doing this. For those of you who don't have women in your life, daughters, or your grandmother's mothers or whatever, don't really have any discussion with you when they're, because I mean, you find this out more from your said partner, wife, whatever you want to call her, and your child, that when they get sick and they give them antibiotics, they'll usually get a yeast infection, and because they're killing off the good bacteria in their body, and then the yeast overtakes them. And some of these women will never ever get rid of this yeast infection from just one drop of antibiotic that they swallowed, because those antibiotic pills are strong. Just one of those pills can destroy her vagina capabilities for the rest of her life. And the doctors don't even discuss this with the women that they're going to have problems. Don't even tell them that they basically need to eat yogurt during the process of this, even though the antibiotics are going to kill it. But if you just keep on spamming and spamming and spamming it, when the antibiotic finally does get out of your body, you're going to replace it with good and not bad. And you can stop some of the overtaking of that yeast that's going to grow. Because, like I say, you're like Spider-Man, the Black Spider-Man, where this is the symbiotic host. You have a ton of funguses, bacterias, trillions of, I forgot what they call it, viral gnome is what they call it, but it's not a virus. But just we're gonna say you have galaxies of bacteria in harmony together, and when one of them gets thrown off, it can cause some of the other ones to get buck wild, or it could throw off your whole system. So you see this here, and we're going to scroll over a little bit right here. Now we're going to look. This is antibiotic-resistant gonorrhea. Everybody knows this. They're calling it super gonorrhea, and it says first class of gonorrhea-resistant. Severe classes of antibiotics identified in the USA. They have some, I forgot which strain of new multiple drug resistant gonorrhea detected in the USA, 2 cases in Massachusetts. Antibiotic resistant gonorrhea found in the USA. So they have a strain of gonorrhea that no drug can kill. So this is a bacteria. You need to understand this. A condom cannot protect you from this. A condom cannot protect you from this here. Now, what do you think made this gonorrhea, this bacteria, grow this strong? We're going to go back to the spraying of glyphosate, making basically what you're doing. A human being can slowly inject themselves with small doses of said venom, and it will build up an immunity. Same thing. So if you have ever been used drugs, drug addict, no drug addicts, alcoholics, and stuff like this, the first time you get that drug, that dosage and that high will never be the same again. So you're chasing the dragon. That's why they call it that term, because you're chasing the dragon. You're going to have to keep upping your doses because your body is going to get adjusted to said dosage of the drug. And that one won't work again, so you got to get stronger and stronger and stronger to the point then you become a super drug addict, and sometimes you overdose and you die because you're chasing the dragon. Think about that in a perspective of some bacteria where you're giving them low dosages of something poison to them, and they're eventually going to get stronger and stronger and stronger, where even the high dosage of poison isn't going to be able to kill them. So we're at that part with gonorrhea. We're at that part with strep, staph, gonorrhea. We're at this part with syphilis now. Growing antibiotic resistant forces. Updates to recommend treatment for sexually transmitted infections, and it says antibiotic resistant form of syphilis bacterium identified in patients in Cuba. This is 2016, as you can see. Now, the majority of your sexual transmitted infections are bacteria. Like I say, condoms cannot protect you from said bacteria. Your immune system protects you from said bacteria. Condoms cannot do this. And this is an issue that most people truly do not understand. Or you can have a person be like, they have a sexually transmitted disease and be like, but I used a condom. When, okay, so if this woman, because I'm not picking on women or anything, I'm just saying because of the nature of females' ejaculation, that it's watery and it covers. So if this woman has, and this is why women, you need to be careful more than anyone, because it's easier for you to get a sexually transmitted disease than a guy, because the nature of who you are. Because this woman nature of her ejaculation, it's going, especially if she is, you know, trying to keep this not PC, but more of not being vulgar with it. If she gets really, really, really aroused, she can put a lot of her on the man, which means that she can easily cover you in these bacteria. There is a very, 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 very likely chance that it can get all on your leg. And hairs is one of the easiest ways to for bacteria to get into your body, especially if you shave it, and most people shave. So you're shaving, and if she's enjoying herself and she wets you up, and if you shaved, when you shave, you already have abrasions. You're giving the bacteria easier ways to get into your skin. So this is one of the things that's going on in the world here. Now, let me show you something that they really, really don't want you to know. You see this here? It says bacteria growth in EMF, electromagnetic frequencies, cell phones. This is the other part of your life that they do not want you to know about. Your cell phones is helping them grow. You can go read all of these. It says bacteria growth rates influenced by cellular characteristics of individuals, you know, immersed in electromagnetic fields. Low frequencies, high frequencies. Go read all of this. There is tons and tons and tons of articles, and they got the studies and a lot of these, where you can see all of this world that we live in of strains of bacteria that cannot be killed, that they're becoming super resistant, and under these EMF fields, that 5G that they're flooding the world with, your bacteria is growing stronger and stronger and stronger. And with the glyphosate, there is nothing that's going to be able to kill them. We're going to get deeper into this subject because this is nowhere near, the beginning of this. Everything they're doing in this world is a puzzle piece, and the puzzle piece is probably a million pieces. It's just one piece that's getting connected to the other. It's all together. Later.